Hello and welcome back to WWE 2K20 Universe Mode. We are here on Smackdown on the way to Hell in a Cell, and the former Intercontinental Champion will be kicking things off here tonight. He will be going up against the man who will be facing the Universal Champion Tommaso Ciampa at Hell in a Cell, Roman Reigns. And I'm sure EC3 would love to get a big upset victory here tonight over Roman. He would do a lot for him. EC3 looking to get his place back on the map after losing his Intercontinental Championship to Buddy Murphy at Clash of Champions. He could do with a big rebound victory, but it's going to be a difficult one for him tonight, going up against the big dog, Roman Reigns, and here he is. Tommaso Ciampa came face to face with Roman. He chose Roman. And Roman and Ciampa, well, they have a long old history in Universe Mode. It goes all the way back to the very first episode, Ciampa taking Roman out backstage, and Ciampa was obsessed with Roman Reigns, obsessed with taking him out, obsessed with destroying him, and it has to be said, Ciampa did a great job of that. He may have lost his first match with Roman. They had an Extreme Rules match, and that is the only match that Ciampa has lost here in Universe Mode, and it was very close indeed, but Ciampa did lose that one. But ever since his friend Johnny Gargano was transferred over to Smackdown, things have been very different indeed for Tommaso Ciampa. He managed to win the Universal Championship thanks to Gargano's help. And well, he decided that he wants to end this rivalry with Roman Reigns inside Hell in a Cell. And honestly, I can't think of any better way to do it. But before we get properly started on this episode, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us so much to keep this going, and it's greatly appreciated. But let's get back to the action at hand. Roman Reigns going off to a strong start. This one, look at the power to lift up EC3 like that over his head and powerbomb him down to the mat. It is very impressive indeed. Now, Roman Reigns may not have had necessarily the best time here in Universe Mode, but if he can manage to beat Ciampa, he's done it before, he can do it again. If he can beat Ciampa inside Hell in a Cell, this is going to be... I think EC3 had a big old pin there on Roman Reigns. EC3 seems to have had this match won, but the referee knocked down one. I guess I think maybe Roman was just taking his time there for a second, just allowing himself to get back into this match. Because the other thing is, so early in the match, you can't think EC3 would have knocked him out that quickly. But you can't put it past EC3. He's been a very strong competitor in Universe Mode so far. Like I said, former Intercontinental Champion, managed to defeat Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, and that was a big old match there. He's managed to beat Braun Strowman as well. He has really had a good time in Universe Mode, but he needs to keep his momentum up after losing the IC Championship. And EC3 going into the outside, getting a little bit frustrated with Roman Reigns, was frustrated with how this match is going so far. But getting back in, taking advantage of Reigns, and trying to get things back on his pace. Very clever indeed there from EC3. We'll be hearing from our SmackDown Women's Champion later tonight as well. Sasha Banks will be having some words about what is going on with her SmackDown Women's Championship. Potentially we might find out who she will be fighting at Hell in a Cell. I apologise, my brain slips out for a second. See maybe who she can be fighting at Hell in a Cell, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll be hearing from her later tonight. She will be in action in our main event of the evening, going up against one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Nia Jax. And that will be our main event this evening, champion versus champion. EC3 avoiding the kick there from Reigns, managing to get out of the way, and a big Superman punch from Reigns straight into the pinfall. Is that enough? 1, 2. Oh, very close indeed there for Reigns. Oh my goodness, that was super close indeed. EC3 now looking to get back on Roman Reigns. Big elbow to the head. He has to try and do something now. If Roman gets that spear, this is all going to be over for EC3. And EC3, wait a second, EC3 grabbing him. Oh, taking him down. Is that enough for EC3 to take down Roman Reigns? 1, 2. Only a 1 count there for EC3. Almost looking like he had it. It was very close indeed on that one. EC3 now getting Reigns back up to his feet. Needing to keep on top of Roman Reigns. Very important for him right now. Because Roman, #1 contender. If EC3 could get this victory, maybe this could set him in position to get a future Universal Championship match down the line. You never know. Wait a second, what is EC3 thinking here? This is not something we usually see from him. Oh my goodness, suicide dive from EC3. Wow, that is an unexpected sight to see from EC3. You don't typically see EC3 taken off of his feet. My goodness. Just shows everything that EC3 will give to this match to try and take down Roman Reigns. My goodness, indeed. Very, very unexpected from EC3. But he needs to get Roman back in the ring now and take advantage of this damage that he's done to him. Instead, though, EC3 throwing Roman into those steel steps. Perhaps not the most honourable way to do things in this match, but hey ho, each their own. It's no, you're not breaking the DQ. But Roman Reigns throwing him straight back. Eye for an eye, I guess. Roman Reigns back in the ring. We're up to a 5 count now. EC3 still on the outside after being thrown into the stairs by Roman Reigns. Up to a 7 count now, getting close, but EC3 back into the ring and spear! Spear from Reigns. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. If perhaps if EC3 had capitalised off of that suicide dive, then that could have been it for him. Maybe he would have been able to get the victory here tonight, but instead EC3 rolls back into the ring to meet a huge spear from Roman Reigns, the man who will be going to Hell in a Cell to fight for that Universal Championship inside that monstrous structure, that Hell in a Cell. Perhaps EC3, perhaps he just shouldn't have done the suicide dive at all. Gotta think maybe going against his regular strategy was the thing that knocked him off here. EC3 clearly a bit thrown after losing his IC Championship. That's all I can see from this. But Reigns picking up the big victory and looking forward to taking on Tommaso Ciampa, his biggest rival here in Universe Mode. Looking to put an end to that rivalry and win the Universal Championship inside Hell in a Cell. But next I move on to some tag team action here tonight. Heavy Machinery. Heavy Mysterious apparently. No, Heavy Machinery, there is no Rey Mysterio here. Heavy Machinery looking to pick up a big victory here tonight. They're going up against a team of Gable Academy. And while they are new here in Universe Mode and they're looking to prove that they work well as a team, Chad Gable very happy that he's managed to get Drew Gulak on side to be his tag team partner, his apprentice per se. And he's looking to get some big victories here tonight and prove that Gulak and Chad are on top. And this is how it went down. Chad using his technical wrestling styles, taking down the big man Tucker. You can tell both Heavy Machinery clearly outsize both Chad and Drew Gulak. But it wasn't a big difference for these guys. Chad managing to take the most of Tucker. But Tucker managed to get back into looking for a big suplex, but instead Gable using his strength. Oh my goodness, the suplex Tucker like he is nothing. A huge German suplex from Chad Gable. And then tagging into Drew Gulak. What were they looking for here? And over we go. Oh, the big boot from Chad Gable. Ripping Tucker's head off. And it all seemed to be over when Drew Gulak got in the Dragon Sleeper on Tucker. Otis nowhere to be seen, but Tucker managed to roll through, managing to get out of it. And things started to look better for Heavy Machinery from this point. They looked to take advantage of Drew Gulak. But it all came down to this. Chad Gable, Drew Gulak. Oh my goodness, what a victory pinfall for them there. 2, 3. My goodness, a big old victory for Gable Academy. A big, not just in the fact that it's a good victory for them, but they beat 2 big guys for guys of their size. My goodness indeed. Let's see what happens to these guys in the future. But let's head backstage in here from our SmackDown Women's... Wait a second, we're supposed to be in from Sasha right now, but instead Nia Jax, one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, has come out backstage and... Wait a second, come on, this is not okay. Oh my goodness, well those 2 women are supposed to meet in our main event here tonight, and... You have to listen to what Nia Jax has been saying over these past few weeks. It really feels like that has been inevitable. She has been saying that the Women's Tag Team Champions are the best champions here. in the entire WWE, and I guess the best way to prove that is to take out the SmackDown Women's Champion. But unbelievable, the nerve of Nia Jax. We were supposed to hear from Sasha Banks here tonight, but instead Nia with the brutal powerbomb. We've got to move forward. We are having The Miz supporting Rusev, his co-star in his new big feature film, Awesome, the movie. And he's out here to support Rusev here tonight as he goes up against Daniel Bryan, a man who is desperately searching for some big wins here in Universe Mode. He's looking to turn things around. It's not really been going too well for Bryan. He's had lots of opportunities, but wait a second, Miz distracting Daniel Bryan for Rusev. Ugh, disappointing stuff there. The Miz very much involved in this. He wants to make sure that everything leading up to the debut of his new film, Awesome, the movie, he needs to make sure it all goes well. And well, that also includes making sure stuff goes well for his co-star, Rusev. But as I was saying, Daniel Bryan looking for a big victory here in Universe Mode. Ever since the beginning, things have not gone too well for Daniel Bryan. He had an opportunity at the Universal Championship, I should say, at the first ever show against Seth Rollins, but he lost. He lost to Seth Rollins clean in the middle of the ring. Wait a second, what's Miz doing there? What is Miz doing? Under the ring, he has a kendo stick. Come on, Miz. That is not... Why do you need a kendo stick right now? Oh my goodness. The referee should really be getting rid of the Miz right now. He should not be out here if he's going to interfere in the match like this. But as I was saying about Daniel Bryan, he is desperately searching for something in Universe Mode. He lost that first match for the Universal Championship. He lost against EC3 for the Intercontinental Championship at SummerSlam, and he just hasn't been able to get the big win here in Universe Mode. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's going to take for Bryan, but he's looking to turn things around here tonight as he takes on Rusev. Wait a second, Miz getting in the ring with the kendo stick, and the referee didn't see it. Miz dropping the kendo stick in the middle of the ring. I guess he's expecting Rusev to use the kendo stick. He is distracting the referee, but Daniel Bryan, luckily for him, is on top of Rusev right now, preventing Rusev being able to grab over to that kendo stick. But Rusev using his strength advantage to push him down. But wait a second. Daniel Bryan, 1, 2. Oh my goodness. Miz accidentally distracting Rusev there. Maybe things aren't so great between these two guys as we thought. Miz distracting Rusev, allowing Daniel Bryan to get that roll up, almost getting the victory. That would have been a big victory for Daniel Bryan. And now Daniel Bryan trying to take advantage, working on the arm of Rusev, looking to submit him, but Rusev rolling it over instead. All trying to go for the big clothesline, but Daniel Bryan getting up top, hitting the Hurricane Run on Rusev. But Miz once again distracting Daniel Bryan, allowing Rusev to get from behind, grab him by the head and throw him over. The strength of Rusev is just so impressive. He is a brute of a man. Wait a second, Bryan though getting that fist. He is not giving up on this. Trying to use the speed and high flying advantage he has in this one. That huge dropkick of Rusev grabbing the leg. I think Rusev just got distracted by Miz. Again, Miz. He's trying to help out Rusev, but I don't think he's necessarily working that well for him. Miz once again on the apron. What is he doing? We're saying Rusev though. Rusev now getting that kendo stick. But the Miz not distracting the referee, not doing what he needed. Wait a second, here he goes. And now using that kendo stick on the head of Daniel Bryan, the ref, paying attention to the Miz. And the Miz has got what he wanted in this one, surely. Rusev hitting Daniel Bryan straight in the head with that kendo stick, and now that is going to be it for Daniel Bryan. The accolade locked in, center of the ring. Can Daniel Bryan hold on, or is he going to be forced? And there it is, Daniel Bryan forced to tap out, center of the ring, but Rusev not letting go of the hold, not letting go. Oh my goodness, what a victory here tonight for Rusev. I'm sure you do have to give the assist to The Miz, but Rusev was still looking very, very strong in this match. And Miz, as much as he was distracting Bryan, distracting the referee, gave the kendo stick into the ring. Well, he did also manage to distract Rusev multiple times, almost costing Rusev this match. But instead, Rusev picking up the big old victory here tonight. Wait a second, Rusev now. What is he thinking? Oh, come on, Rusev. You can't do this. The Miz has run back out here to support Rusev. He was only halfway up the ramp when the match was done. Rusev, though, throwing Bryan into the ring. What is he thinking of doing here? Come on, he's already submitted to you in the middle of the ring. This is just not called for. Rusev now pummeling Daniel Bryan and Miz on the outside, clapping along. This is not okay. The match kick from Rusev to Bryan. Big headbutt from Rusev, and my goodness indeed. But we move on to our next contest here tonight after that brutal beating from Rusev. We have a 6-man tag team match. For a bit of, well, it's for two things, this match. Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano are part of this match. Of course, they will be going into a tag team match at Hell in a Cell on opposite sides of the ring. Keith Lee teaming up with Goldberg and Johnny Gargano teaming up with Braun Strowman. But as we've seen, Braun and Johnny not getting along too well last week. Braun hit Johnny with a running power slam, so not looking too good for that team at the moment being. But we'll have to wait and see if they can get on the same team when they make their way to Hell in a Cell. But this match is also about the stipulation for Hell in a Cell. It is going to be the New Day taking on Ricochet and Ali once again. These guys just can't have enough of each other. They need to get a finality to this. They need to know who is really the better team. Because the New Day, of course, held those champions for ages. They beat Ricochet and Ali once due to, according to Ricochet and Ali, some dirty tactics with Xavier Woods getting him. Xavier Woods causing the distraction. But then in the triple threat match, Ricochet and Ali won, but the New Day won their rematch. They wanted a Hell in a Cell, and it's going to be it for these teams. Whoever wins, that's it. It's done. Whoever wins proves their best. But whoever wins this match gets to choose the stipulation for that match. And as we got going, Ricochet was going up against Kofi Kingston at the beginning of this match. Ricochet and Kofi going back and forward in this great little sequence here. Ricochet, that huge super kick. Well, I should say big boot, really. It wasn't the super kick, but with the same intensity as the super kick. But Kofi managing to get straight back up, hitting the Falcon's arrow, then taking advantage of Ricochet, allowing Keith Lee to get in here. The big man, Keith Lee, and Keith just threw Ricochet around like he was nothing. But Ricochet took advantage, looking to hit a big old suicide dive onto Big E on the outside. You can't deny Ricochet. He knows how to fly around the ring, taking down Big E. But Keith Lee was desperate to get some attacks in onto Johnny Gargano, because Johnny Gargano essentially cost him the Universal Championship. Johnny Gargano and Braun Strowman cost Keith Lee the Universal Championship at Clash of Champions. So Keith just wanted to get his hands on Johnny Gargano, but it meant he lost attention on who the legal man was in this match. Ricochet ends up being able to take advantage of Keith Lee at that point. But Keith getting the big elbow and then going for the huge double chops, but Ricochet instead getting the reversal, knocking Lee into the corner and hitting the cannonball onto Keith Lee, and then hitting in those big kicks to the back. Ricochet, what is he looking for now? The big DDT to Keith Lee. Keith Lee getting distracted so much by Johnny Gargano, it almost cost him this match, but Ricochet tags in Gargano. Gargano called for the tag, and he tagged him in now. Johnny Gargano looking to take advantage of Keith Lee, who is bruised on the floor, but Keith Lee seeing it's Gargano, and it was all done with the Spirit Bomb to Johnny Gargano, but Keith didn't go for the pinfall. Instead, Johnny managed to get the reversal and managed to get in the Gargano escape, but Keith getting to the ropes, but it was too much. Ricochet hit the 630 splash. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. The 630 senton, I should say. And well, Ricochet and Ali, they will be choosing the match for Hell in a Cell. And we'll have to wait to find out what that is going to be, but that is certainly a big advantage for Ricochet and Ali going into Hell in a Cell. And well, looking good for Johnny as well, getting that big victory. But now we move on to our main event of the evening after what happened earlier in the night. Nia Jax attacking Sasha Banks backstage. We were supposed to be hearing from Sasha Banks about potentially who her opponent was going to be. You have to imagine that's what it was going to be. We don't know for certain. But Nia Jax instead attacking Sasha Banks backstage. And that is what has led us to this champion versus champion match here tonight. Sasha Banks taking on Nia Jax, the SmackDown Women's Champion, of course. Only winning the championship at Clash of Champions, but she beat Toni Storm for that championship, and then last week on SmackDown, she had a rematch against Storm, beating her yet again. But Nia Jax has been, well, just yapping her mouth all over the place, saying that her and Dakota are the best champions in WWE. Well, you can't necessarily argue it. As a tag team, Nia and Dakota are completely undefeated. They have not lost a single match as a tag team yet. And that really does say a lot, but you look at their singles wins, it's not necessarily been as good for them in singles competition. They had multiple opportunities at the SmackDown Women's Championship when Kairi Sane held it, but it never worked out for them. They never could get that big victory. Dakota Kai couldn't win Money in the Bank. But as a tag team, these guys have really found their groove. They have found their way in the world, and you can't necessarily put it past Nia saying that they're the best champions in WWE. Who else is undefeated as a champion here? No one else. No one else. Not even Aleister Black anymore. That was a big old upset on Monday Night Raw this week. Make sure to go back and check out the episode if you haven't seen it yet, but that was a big old upset, that one, even though it was, well, a bit screwy, let's say. But go back and check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But Nia and Dakota are now technically the only champions who haven't lost a match in Universe mode. So perhaps they are the best. Perhaps they are the best champions that we have, but it's very, very cocky of them to be going around saying that. I know that Sasha probably has some issues with the whole thing anyway. Sasha probably wasn't happy that Nia Jax was going around saying that she's better than her. Sasha Banks is the boss. She loves to think that she is better than everyone else. And to be fair, she does prove it in the ring. She goes out there, she gives her all, and she proves why she is the boss. Why people view her as one of the best women's wrestlers in the entire world. It's going to be difficult for her tonight against Nia Jax. There is a big size difference between these two. Nia Jax really outsizing her, both in width and in height. You've got to think that strength of Nia is going to be a real issue, but if Sasha can manage to speed her way around the ring, outmaneuver Nia Jax like she just did there, using the ropes for her advantage, using the leverage of the ropes to try and get an advantage over Nia Jax, that could really help her in this one. Big frog splash from Sasha Banks. 1, 2. Only a 2 count there for Sasha, but looking very close indeed, and now calling Nia up to her feet. What is she looking for here? Oh, Sasha, no. Nia Jax managing to reverse, throwing Sasha over those ropes, where Bayley, her best friend, has come out to support her for this match. With Sasha being taken down, but you have to remember, before Clash of Champions, Sasha Banks and Bayley were forced into a match because of Toni Storm to decide the #1 contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and well, Sasha Banks had no issue taking it to Bayley. Bayley, perhaps a bit more friendship there in Bayley's head, let's say. Because Sasha Banks had no issue taking her down, and Bayley, she just wasn't able to do it. She wasn't able to go and beat up her best friend like that. Sasha Banks took complete advantage of that to get herself the shot at the SmackDown Women's Championship. And look at Bayley being able to show that intensity and take it to her best friend. It's not even like it was in a bad way. It's just like, you're a wrestler, you need to wrestle. Who cares who you're opposite and who you're in the ring with? I know it can be difficult if you have to go and face your best friend in the middle of the ring, but you get over it, you deal with it, you just have to do it. The SmackDown Women's Championship is more important than just being friends. Like, once the match is over, you can go backstage and you can still be best friends. But Bayley, she couldn't look past it. Sasha could. And that is why Sasha is the SmackDown Women's Champion. That's why she is the boss. And maybe why she's the best in WWE. But Nia Jax may be proving her otherwise right now. She is tossing her around the place. A huge clothesline to Sasha, getting her out of the ring. And now Sasha managing to reverse, getting Nia back in the ring herself. Can Sasha take advantage of this? Wait a second. Backstabber. And into the bank statement. Is Nia Jax going to tap out? Or will she be able to hold on? Is Nia going to be forced to tap out in the middle of the ring? This would be unbelievable if it was to happen. Wait a second. Sasha. Nia cannot get out of it. Nia has been in this bank statement for such a long amount of time. But she manages to get out of it. Rolling through. Wait a second. 1, 2. No. Sasha kicking out. Sasha not wanting to release the hold, but being forced to kick out and release the hold when Nia put it down. Away a second. Nia Jax setting up for that huge leg drop to Sasha Banks. Weston going for the pinfall. Is that enough? 1. Only a 1 count. My goodness. Because this is the point where Nia would typically tag out to Dakota Kai. She would hit her big finish here, where she is going for, but then she would usually tag into Kai. Kai would hit the chiropractor, and that would be it. But Sasha reversing Nia Jax, preventing her from hitting the big move. And wait a second. Is she going through it once again? The backstabber again, and into the bank statement once more. She looks like she's close to the ropes, but she is. Nia gets her foot on the ropes, but Sasha calling her up once again. Sasha not allowing Nia a second to breathe. And hitting her again. Another backstabber. And into the crossface. The bank statement. Is Nia going to be forced this time? The 3rd time she's in the bank statement. And yes, she is. She taps out in the middle of the ring. Sasha Banks picking up the submission victory over Nia Jax here tonight. Well, that is one way to prove who is the best champion here. But I can confirm for you it will be the Women's Tag Team Championships on the line at Hell in a Cell. Sasha and Bayley taking on Nia and Dakota for those belts. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.